Welcome to Rendezvous with Deja'vú, where conversations meet intention, culture meets clarity, and nothing happens by accident. Live from the heart of NYC, this is a real space for dialogue, creative truth, and unapologetic self expression. This is where a hidden voice gets heard, story gets unpacked, and we talk about life as it's really happened. Dating, identity, ambition, heartbreak, healing, comedy, and everything in between. I'm your host, Deja'vú, and this is just not a podcast. This is a rendezvous. A rendezvous is an intentional meeting, not a random, not forced, and that's exactly why this space exists. Rendezvous with Deja Vu was created to bring people together and intersections of honesty, creativity, and real life experience without filters, without performance, without pretending. This is for thinkers, the feelers, the creators, the people involving out loud, from dating disasters and emotional intelligence to pop culture, street philosophy, and self worth. We don't dodge conversations. We sit in it, okay? The vision of Rendezvous with Deja Vu is to create a cultural space where authenticity leads and every conversation has purpose. I envision a platform where people feel safe to tell the truth, bold enough to challenge themselves, and inspired to grow beyond who they were yesterday. This is a space where vulnerability is strength, self awareness is currency, and storytelling becomes power. The mission of Rendezvous with Deja Vu is to cultivate intentional conversations that sparks reflection, connection, and transformation. I am to spotlight real voices, artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, and everyday people with stories that deserve more than a scroll by moment. Here, conversation isn't just entertainment, it's a tool, a mirror, a release, a reminder that you're not alone in what you're navigating. This platform is rooted in compassion, curiosity, and clarity because growth starts when we're brave enough to be honest. Now, let's get into it because this topic right here is separates self-awareness from pure audacity. We're asking the questions nobody wants to answer honestly. Are people truly raising their standards, or are we living in an era where delusion gets dressed up as confidence? And listen, and if it hits a nerve, it's probably because it lives here. Standards or delusional? Quick response. No overthinking. What's one thing people call you delusional for that you know is actually just your standard? People say I'm delusional because I expect emotional maturity, consistency, and effort at the same time. And if that's delusional, then I'm not interested in being realistic. Dating is where intention get exposed. People want access without accountability, affection without consistency, relationship without benefits, with situations effort, and then get mad when you call it what it is. This rendezvous is for people who are done confusing potential with progress. Everybody keeps asking why dating feels harder, friendships feel thinner, why people feel disconnected even though they're always online. And the truth is, people don't want honesty anymore. They want convenience. They want access without responsibility, connection without effort, and loyalty without accountability. We're living in a time where everybody says they want real, but then flinch when it shows up. People call it standard when it benefits them. They call it delusional when it challenges them. The nerve, right? And that's the part nobody wants to talk about. Because it's easier to say someone is asking for too much than to admit you don't want to rise to the occasion. It's easier to say I'm confused than to say I don't want to show up correctly. And somehow, the people who know what they want are labeled difficult, dramatic, or unrealistic. Let me say this real slow. Wanting consistency is not delusion. Wanting clarity is not pressure. Wanting effort is not asking for too much. That's called self respect. But self respect makes insecure people uncomfortable because it forces them to confront what they're not ready to give. You see, standards don't scare the right people. They expose the wrong ones. And if you ever been told you're too much for wanting honesty, presence, or emotional intelligence, you're not too much. You're just too clear for someone who benefits from confusion. So today we're talking about it. The delusional era, the standards era, and the thin line between confidence and fantasy. No filters, no performing, and no pretending. This rendezvous with Deja Vu, it's where honesty isn't optional. So let's be honest. Since we already here, I created Rendezvous with Deja Vu because everybody is performing and nobody is soaking. Everything is curate, everything is aesthetic, everything looks healed, but behind closed doors, baby, people are confused, lonely, and avoiding accountability. Let's define it. Standard means you know what you want and why. Delusion is wanting luxury treatment while offering confusion behaviors. Some people aren't mad at your standard. They're mad they don't qualify. And instead of leveling up, they rather call you unrealistic. That's not growth, that's projecting. Mm-mm. I'm not asking for perfection, I'm asking for presence. And if you disappear when things require effort, that's not busy, that's avoidance. Pause and sit with it. If expecting respect is delusional, then yeah, I'm guilty. Social media raise aesthetics, not character. Everybody looks rich, everybody looks healed, and everybody looks love. Like likes don't mean loyalty, followers don't mean fulfillment. If someone treats you better on online than in real life, that's your sign. Fake, 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 fake. If someone keeps showing you who they are, believe them the first time. I asked y'all, what's the most delusional thing someone did while dating you? And my girl said that the dude said that they weren't ready for a relationship but wanted exclusive access to him. And that's not confusion, that's entitlement. I don't want either or. So is this the delusional era or the standards era? I say it's both. Standards are rising, self awareness is lagging. Don't shrink yourself to stay connected to someone who benefits from your silence. This was episode 1 of Rendezvous with Deja Vu. And if this hit, share it with someone who needs to hear. And remember, let's be honest, since we here. Until next time.
My name is Deja'vú, Puerto Rican Afro-Latina, born in Boston, but raised in the soul of Puerto Rico. Trujillo Alto, Santurce, Sidra, Catano, Carolina, Luquillo. Every place shaped my rhythm. I started dancing at 9, ballet, jazz, folklore, hip-hop, Afrobeats. Movement became my voice. By 14, I was performing on Puerto Rico's biggest stages, juvenile dancing in choreographies crafted by legends. At 15, I shared the stage with icons on Telemundo's Bailando con las Estrellas. At 17, I danced for reggaeton stars Alexis and Fido, Weebol and Alex, living the dream, until motherhood called me to pause. But I never stopped moving. In 2024, I found a new fire through pole acrobatics, discipline, grace, power. And in 2025, I made top 5 in the Ciara Dance Line competition. Now I rise again, not just as a dancer, but as a mother, a creator, a legacy in motion.